So Kev, after that grilling run of fixtures we've just had, we've had a week on the training ground without a Tuesday game. How have the lads trained this week?
Yeah, good. Just managing between rest and recovery and training properly as well, which we want to do, has been okay. So in that respect, it's been good. Having to have a break from games if you want. I think everyone in the league would probably say the same thing. So yeah, it's been nice for us to just settle down again.
And last time out, getting a win in our last game of that run away from home against a team who'll be right up there. You must have been able to look back at that one really positively.
Yeah, it's. I think looking at the overall performance in terms of being away from home and 2-0, perfect result really, and not giving up too many chances in the meantime as well. And the overall performance was very good. And as you say, important 3 points off the back of Tuesday before that as well. So pleased with that, but put to bed early this week and forward now.
Of course, you added Daniel Carnu and Nick Hayes to the squad last weekend. How have they settled into the group and what do they add to the team?
Yeah, good. Obviously, Dan's, he came on and got a good few minutes and showed he's willing to run in behind. His work ethic's ever so good without the ball as well, and I think that will endear himself to the players first and foremost and the fans. And he knows where the goal is, which we've seen in training, and I think his history tells you that. So pleased to have him on board, and he'll had good competition for us. And Nick coming in late, it was difficult for everyone, but I think he was composed in everything he'd done, and for just meeting your teammates, it was he carried himself ever so well, and it's credit to him and to the players as well.
We turn our attentions to the trip to Yeovil in the FA Cup now. How important is the FA Cup for you this season?
Yeah, absolutely. It's we'd love to go and do well in it. It hasn't been a trophy that's been that kind to us in recent years. So it's couldn't have got a tougher draw really. Yeovil and away from home, and they're doing ever so well with their results recently as well. So a tough one that we know we've got to perform in.
Yeah, flying high in the National League South, like you say. Does it help potentially that we've played them last season as opposed to other teams in the National League South, which may have been a bit of an unknown quantity? Possibly,
but I think they're in a different place than they were when we went there last year. In terms of as a club, and they've got some continuity with the manager's doing ever so well there now that he's got his people in that he wants and is working properly. Yeah, tough game, and they've got some good players. Obviously, we know one or two, and they know the level ever so well, and they're going to be a tough game.
How's the availability looking for the weekend? I think a couple of players might be cup tied. Is that right?
Yeah, Maher has already played in it. Brooklyn's already played in it, so yeah, they will be unavailable.
How's Wes Fongut progressing?
Yeah, Wes managed to do some training this week. So hopefully he'll be available to be selected.
And Colin and Nathan Ralph any closer?
Colin, no. Ralphie hasn't trained this week either, so we'll be very doubtful, to be honest.
Thank you. It is a long journey to go up to Yeovil. You have had that week of training, but how does it kind of? You want to go on a run, you want to do well in the FA Cup, but obviously with a small squad, it presents its own challenges as well.
It does, yeah, because we only allowed what we're allowed, and it's a struggle to get Nick in last week, and trying to replace one for one when they're only missing maybe a game is difficult because we won't be allowed. So yeah, it's a huge headache, and it's near impossible task that we've somehow got to find a way to get a team on the pitch.
I guess though you're building momentum in the league, you'd like to carry that on into the cup, and like you say, it's a trophy that hasn't presented many opportunities for a run in recent seasons, but you'd like to change that.
Yeah, listen, absolutely, and I think any team at our level and below, etc. And when we're in now, you just try and get through the next round and see where it takes you, because the rewards can be good for any club at our level if you can get through one or two rounds, but. I think everyone will be thinking the same thing, and we're presented with a real tough game and a tough ask to go away from home on another long journey and produce another result with a threadbare squad. But we're doing our best, whoever plays.
We talked a bit last week about clean sheets and how important they are to your squad this season, and of course that was another one on Saturday with the third different goalkeeper of the season. That must be pleasing despite the lack of continuity, that you are able to have that solid defence.
Yeah, I think that's it's massively important, and especially as you say, bringing a keeper in on the day. I think the pleasing thing was that, we weren't stretched and hanging on, I think, and conceding lots of chances. I think their first shot was right in the last minute on target, so it wasn't as if, that meant the structure of the team's right and the structure of how we work's good. So it's an important factor because, if you're going to be successful, you've got to keep them out one end and score at the other.
Thank you.
How's Mooney progressing?
Yeah, he hasn't trained much this week either. So another one that's a doubt. To add to the list.
Yeah, and Lomas, is he making any progress? Or?
No, he's still a way off yet. He's still, hasn't been training at all yet. And still with the physios and still doing work there.
Obviously, got a familiar face in Reece Murphy and Jake Hyde, who are good when fit, aren't they? So
they are. And they're two players that if we were able to keep fit last year, they would have made a massive difference in terms of the goal scored column. And both great lads, that were missed, not being here as characters, and glad to see, Murph's up and scoring goals, and Heidi's got he's off the mark as well. So really pleased for them that they're playing, and be good to see.